Hello YouTube, this is Wisps and Whimsy, and you are watching Starting Out Solitary. Our topic this week is Pagan Paths and Christian Traditions. So our topic this week was meant to kind of relate to Christmas coming up. We were looking at how our pagan path incorporates Christian elements, or does it? For me, I was raised in a very strongly practicing Christian home. We were not Christmas and Easter Christians. We were in the church every Sunday, sometimes morning and evening, on Wednesday nights, and many other times during the week. So our faith was something that was very much a part of our daily lives. It was very much a part of the greater community. And so when I broke away from that, I do feel like that was a very radical break for me, to not believe as everyone around me believed, and to lose many of those concepts, including deity, that I had been raised with. So in my pagan practice today, and certainly I allow that this is constantly evolving, and I will very likely change as I continue along my path, but for now I am focused on the world around me, on the elements, on the energies that are around me, and how I relate to them. So I don't feel that there are the same Christian practices that really relate to that new lifestyle, because I am not praying, I am not studying a sacred text, I am not gathering with a community of fellow believers. So I don't feel that there is a relationship between the two at all, for the most part. The closest I would say would be things like Christmas. Because our families are Christian, because my husband is nominally Christian, my children are being raised in a multi-faith household. And so we are exposing them to Christian elements along with pagan elements. Christmas is a very easy time to incorporate both, and to be a dual faith household, because so many of the traditions overlap, because historically many of the Christmas traditions have pagan roots. So a Christmas tree, the hanging of the greens, a burning of a Yule log, something as simple as burning a bayberry candle for prosperity in the new year. These are all things that are done by Christian families and households as well. So although there are those elements of Christian faith tied within it, and of course we have done things like talking about Advent calendars and Advent wreaths, because that is something that my mother has handed down to me, and so we have done those in the past. We're not doing them this year. Things like Santa, which can be contested by some Christians who feel like that's a pagan practice and not appropriate because it detracts from the Christmas message. We don't do Santa in the sense of having raised our children to believe in him, but that concept of magic, which is interesting because even as a Christian, I left it as the concept of magic itself, and not as a specific person who was godlike and who could travel with all these powers. It was that spark of magic. And I think that just shows that I was open to pagan concepts even back then. So those are ways that we incorporate some Christian practice within our paganism. Easter is similar. There are the fertility symbols that we know so well, like eggs and bunnies, and that noticing of the renewal of life and rebirth around us. And so I think that relates well to the ideas of Jesus' resurrection. Obviously, most of these things are things that Christians use as symbols of their faith as well. So in that sense, I do feel like there is some crossover. But I think it's as much because it's pagan-flavored Christianity as it is that I'm actually carrying Christianity over. And part of it is because that's something I'm comfortable with. I was raised with it. And so it's easy for me to feel like this is an appropriate thing to carry on. So in that sense, yes, I do carry on some Christian elements in my practice. I think the thing that is most carried over is that I was raised in a family that did book studies and studied the Bible, so studying of sacred texts and things like that. And my approach to paganism has been to gather up the books and to study and to see how it applies to my life and to practice that way. And so in that sense, those two ways are how I apply Christianity within my path. So I would love to hear how you feel that Christianity maybe informs your path or maybe not at all. And if you would like to make a video response or comment below or comment on our Facebook, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So until next time, have a wonderful winter solstice. Have a wonderful and blessed Yule. Have a very Merry Christmas. And I am wishing you all blessings.